Alright, hello guys, welcome your faces back to another video on my channel. Today we are back in Flyout once again, and today we are building another plane, which is something that you do in Flyout quite a lot. You end up building lots of planes. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into this one, and we're going to try and build something based on the F4 Phantom. Now, if you guys don't know what the F4 Phantom is, it is a twin-jet plane built by the US in, I guess, like Vietnam, I suppose, that kind of era, which was a very interesting-looking aircraft. Now, I'm not going to base it exactly, like, perfectly on that. We're just going to go ahead and take a few points from it and attach it to this aircraft. For example, we're going to have two engines. We're also going to have the weird horizontal stabilizer set up at the back and other stuff like that. As well as the wings, actually. The wings are going to be a lot like the F4 Phantom. And where the engines are. But you know, that's everything. It might be everything. It might not. Anyway, as you guys can see, we've already built the cockpit area. I've extended the fuselage because we need to. And you'll see at the back here that I actually take a lot of inspiration from the F4 by doing this. Which is very, very weird. And it does feel a little bit strange to do it this way. But you'll see in a second that I will actually put horizontal stabilizers on that pointy-outy bit, and it looks kind of interesting. Anyway, back to the cockpit. I wanted it to be a little bit more rounded, I guess, a little bit less smooth, because I always build it kind of smooth, so this is what I'm doing right here. There you go. I did want a little bit more metal in there as well, but I didn't manage to do it. And if you look at the actual aircraft itself, it seems a little bit too chunky, like what I always do. Like, I always seem to make them a little bit too chunky. So we'll have to go back to that bit in the future and work that out. Alright, here we go. So now I'm actually increasing the height of this. I don't feel like that's a very good idea, but it might actually work out. I'm also actually angling it as well. The angle does seem to be a good idea, but it does get a little bit messy in the future. Just a little bit anyway. Here I am trying to sort out the front as well, make it a little bit more rounded, and I believe I might even do the same thing at the back. Do I add a window here? I had a window here. That's weird, isn't it? That's very strange. But there you go. I angle that bit as well. That's pretty cool. And overall, actually, it doesn't look too bad, does it? It doesn't look that bad. I positioned the pilot a little bit better in here as well. And this is the point where I actually make everything a little bit more skinny. Because overall, I seem to build my jets just a little bit too chunky. And I think I've done it again with this one. Now, as you guys can see right here, I've gone ahead and went back in and started squidging it to the side, because squidging it is something that is actually kind of necessary in order to make it look a little bit nicer. We might have to do more of that in the future, but for right now, we're just going to squidge it in this video. Bam! There you go. Okay, more squidging is happening. More squidging is happening. And it continues to happen for quite a while, actually, until we go back and we start building onto different things. This is me actually trying to work out where the rear bit is going to go. And honestly, I think I've done an okay job with this. I wanted this to round off itself a little bit slower than normal. Which is why I've done it in many segments, and that's pretty much it. Okay, sorry guys, I had to cut in there and actually show you guys this. I only just noticed that it has a smiley face on its butt, which, is that normal? Is that real? Is that actually a real picture? I don't know. I've never seen this before, but, I mean, there's loads of pictures of it, so its rear sensors are actually just in the shape of a smiley face. That is weird. Okay. I mean, I do prefer this one with just like a square. And honestly, this looks way better than what I built, actually. Now that I look at this looks amazing. But yes, it has a smiley face on its butt. Who would have thought? That's crazy. Okay, moving on to this. I've accidentally messed up this piece right here. Don't know how that's happened, but we can easily fix it by moving all of these guys backwards just a little bit. There you go. So that is the cockpit bit actually fixed in quite well. From there, I think we're going to go ahead and move on to the horizontal stabilizers and then the vertical stabilizer at the back. Now, if you look at the F4 Phantom, you'll see that these things are actually angled quite a bit. They're actually angled down, which is kind of interesting. So that's the inspiration we take from this. I just want to angle these guys downwards. Now, I find it, personally, kind of difficult to scale things. So, in this scenario, I actually found it very difficult to figure out how big I actually wanted these things to be in terms of, like, how fat they were going to be, how skinny they were going to be, how long, how angled. I found it all quite difficult, but in the end, I actually think this actually looks pretty good. It does look pretty good. Anyway, we're now moving on to the vertical stabilizer as well. For a second, I did actually think maybe having like angled vertical stabilizers would be cool too. But then I thought that'd be too like Star Warsy and a little bit strange, so I didn't end up doing that. But I also had a bit of an issue trying to figure out what kind of shape this should be as well. So I think I ended up with the right shape in the end. I even split this and had a little bit at the bottom be a little bit extended, as you guys will see in a second. That was me attempting it, and then this is me doing it. There you go. Honestly, I think that makes it look so much better, and I actually really like the shape of it too. Anyway, we're now moving on to the actual jet engine intakes on the side. I decided to do it with what are these called? What are these called? Half fuselage sections. That's what I'm going to call them. And I struggled a little bit to actually get them at the right size, which I guess makes a little bit of sense. I haven't had that much practice with this, but yeah. Essentially, we're going to go ahead and put these on the side of the fuselage, put our engines at the back, and hopefully make everything fit. Now, I struggled a little bit with this, just a little bit, but at the end of the day, it worked out. It did work out. I don't know what that noise was. But anyway, here we are attaching them on. There you go. I actually wanted to extend these pieces in because otherwise they wouldn't actually attach to the fuselage properly, and they'd end up being a little bit too small. So that's what I did right there. At the front, I'm trying to make it a little bit thicker by just increasing it forwards a little bit and then making them slightly smaller as we go forwards, and that makes a really nice shape on the front of the intakes. Okay, moving backwards from there. I didn't want it to go in a straight line. I actually wanted to go down just a little bit. So we do end up actually sending this thing downwards slightly. There you go, just like so. Which honestly makes it look pretty cool in the end. I also had to extend those over to the side just a little bit as well, just so that it fit in a little bit better. And I believe I also round off these guys as well, just a little bit. There you go. Just so the engine would actually fit in there quite nicely. That is what we did. There we go. Okay, cool. So, moving on from there, what are we going to do next? I guess we're just going to go ahead and shove the engine directly in there. Now, I haven't actually modified these engines very much before, and I don't think I'm very good at modifying these engines, but I do believe I will get better at it in the future. I don't know why I'm stuttering while I'm talking right here, but I'm trying my best, guys. I'm trying my best. Anyway, what I'm doing right here is actually modifying the main fuselage to move it out of the way so that it sort of conforms to where the jet is, which honestly is a really cool idea, but kind of hard to get it right, sort of. Maybe a little bit. But as you guys can see, I'm trying to bend it around the engine. I'm trying to make it look nice while we do so as well. And honestly, this is actually a really cool way of getting a little bit more detail out of the airplane. Because otherwise, I could have just shoved the jet engines on and left it like that. I didn't want to do that though, so there you go. Anyway, we're now moving on to the actual wings, so let's go ahead and build these guys on. I do take a little bit of inspiration from the F4 with these guys as well, with the way they are actually built. So you'll see in a second, the bits at the very end are actually angled as well, which is a little bit strange and very F4 reminiscent. Anyway, we're building this in sections. I should have done this a little bit better and moved them at the same time, but I didn't end up doing that, so they're a little bit wonky, which isn't really what you want. I make them fatter, I make them fit into the fuselage, and that is actually really cool. In the end, though, I do have to change those because the landing gear does end up poking through, so those guys get modified in the end. But anyway, let's go ahead and move these guys out and try and fit them in. With that being said, as you guys heard me say earlier, I struggle with scaling. So trying to figure out how big this should be compared to how big the rest of the aircraft is actually a really big struggle for me. So I try my best here. I try and make it a little bit longer because the fuselage is quite long. And then we go in and we try and make it a little bit longer. And it's essentially this gets longer and longer and longer as you go. But honestly, I think it does look pretty good in the end. So we're going to move these guys out. I'm going to go ahead and shrink it at the end of the tip of the wing, and hopefully that will make it look a little bit better. Here's the angle that I was talking about, and that's what makes it look a little bit like the F4. This is me now trying to make it look a little bit better by moving these guys around, and honestly, in the end, I actually think that looks pretty good. I did think it needed to be a little bit chunkier though, in terms of the wing, so I moved that guy forwards, and yeah, there you go. How cool is that? That's actually really cool. I then moved those guys backwards as well, just because I thought a bigger roll surface actually made more sense. Don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, I thought angling the engine might be good. Wasn't a good idea. Anyway, I turned it red. Why did I do that? No idea. And then we started adding landing gear. So, landing gear is something that I really struggle with in this game, because I feel like I always end up making it too big. Now, I don't know whether I can just scale the entire thing down, but that is something that I think I need to work on, actually. I need to work on how the landing gear works. Right here, I'm adding it to the side as well. There you go. And again, I had to make it a little bit smaller, which is kind of unfortunate. But yes, that kind of had to happen. There you go. Bam. I also had a bit of an issue with it sticking out the top end as well. So we do have to go back to this and fix it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get ourselves a nice color and try and paint it all in that color. So smoothness, I guess we can have a little bit. Metallicness can come down, detail can stay up. Smoothness again, metallic down, there we go. So that looks a little bit strange, but that's okay. Value of this, I don't know what color it should be. Like, I actually don't know what color it should be. Sometimes maybe like a white color would actually look good. I don't know, if I go ahead and click paint all, confirm. Yeah, that actually doesn't look terrible. I don't mind that. The red wings actually look pretty cool too. I do want to modify these to look better as well, so I want those to be red and actually very bright. I'm also going to make them very smooth and very metallic as well, just so that they are sort of very shiny. Actually, less metallicness actually makes it look better. Okay, cool. I'm then going to go with the wings, try and paint these in a nicer form of red as well, because I just like it. I like the fact that it will be very, very red. So let's go ahead and do this. Value can stay up there, very good. And make it this, there we go. I don't think this is quite the right color of red, to be honest. Yeah, I feel like it should change slightly, but I don't know what to. Maybe a darker red would actually look better. Yes, it does. There we go. A darker red is definitely what I wanted. Okay, so let's go ahead and whack this onto here like so. We're then going to go ahead and try and do this piece as well. It's kind of tricky to do this, I'm not gonna lie. There we go, that looks sick. That actually looks really cool. And then I wanted to paint the nose cone as well in a different color, but I don't think I should. Or maybe I should. I don't know, red? Should we paint it like that? That actually doesn't look terrible. It looks a bit weird though. Red pointy things like this aren't what you want. They are definitely not what you want, because it's reminiscent of something else. Which I will not go into right now, but maybe black actually looks pretty good. Yeah, I feel like I just need to get better at painting in this, because I think I could make things look really cool if I did get better at painting, but I don't know. Anyway, I seen a trick on the Discord where if you go into the paint tool, you go into text, you can actually do something really cool with this. You can do some dashes, there you go, however many you want, and you can actually add a hell of a lot of texture using these dashes. So that is what we're going to do right now. Let's go ahead and scale them up. Here we go. That is actually going to look so good. We're going to go ahead and put these guys, I guess actually towards the back of this. I need to make sure they all go in properly. So I'm going to do that right there. Then I'm going to move it forwards and do this right here. And honestly, stuff like that on top of the wing is going to make this thing look so much better. I've already done it there, but yeah, this is cool. Okay, so I decided I wanted to add a bit of a triangle on there as well. I don't know why I've done that, but it is in pretty much perfect black, which is a little bit strange when you look at it like that, to be honest, but that's okay. For some reason, this doesn't actually seem to change the color of things, which is a little tiny bit annoying. But we're going to go ahead and essentially change the color of this bit at the back to be a little bit different. There you go. I've already pretty much done it there, so that's good. And I want to copy it into this piece as well. So if I can, we need the metallicness to go down and the smoothness to go all the way up. There we go. Just so it looks very similar to that piece. Giving it a separate color to the actual wing itself, I think is a good idea. It adds a little bit of variation, and yeah, looks good. Okay, so there is actually more we can do with this if we wanted to, so let's go ahead and try. So we're going to go to Tool, we're going to go to Text, and we're going to go ahead and say Navy, because the F4 was a Navy aircraft, so we're going to go ahead and go with Navy. This is going to get written on the side, and it's going to actually be quite big. We're going to go ahead and turn this all the way down though, so there we go, and we can shove Navy onto here somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where it should go, whether we should try and put it here, or where should we actually put this? We can put it there. I don't like that it's going down onto the wing though, that's the thing that's getting me here. But I think that might just be the thingy, what's it called? What is it called? The thingy. I don't know how to explain what I'm even trying to say, but the thingy. The reflection, yes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is... What does it mean by front and back? What does it mean by that? I'm not sure. We're going to go ahead and just shove Navy right here like this. And honestly, I think that's going to look pretty good. Although I think it should be in black. I do think it should be in black. So we're going to go ahead and shove it on here like this. There we go. And we've got Navy written on the side. Although that doesn't look right. I don't know. You know when you put something on and you just think, okay, that isn't spelled correctly? I think it is though, right? That's how you spell Navy, right? It doesn't look right though. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is actually add some extra random bits that hopefully look cool. We're gonna add these guys right here, which is just gonna be a pattern of 3. And hopefully that adds a little bit of extra detail. We're gonna go in and we're gonna do more as well. We're gonna add a number to the back. We're going to add a number down here as well, I think. And we're also just going to add just some random squares around as well. Just because I think that's going to look cool. Okay, so I wanted more detail on this, and I decided I wanted the Frantic Air Force logo. Now, I've made this. Oh, wow, that didn't import very well, did it? This looks tiny. What is going on with this? Why has it got white outlines, too? That wasn't actually part of the PNG. Anyway, this is what I wanted to go on the side of here, but I did want it to be... I wanted it to look nice. I wanted it to look nicer than this anyway. But clearly that isn't gonna happen. Also, it's just like a very bad logo. Okay, right, we're not gonna go with this. I spent ages trying to make this too, but it's just not right. It doesn't look good. It does not look good. What have I done there? I didn't mean to angle it. Get out of here. There we go. So scale down. I mean, it doesn't look terrible if I just add it like this. But at the same time, I don't know. Alright, whatever. I've gone ahead and shoved it on there as well, because that just makes sense. Anyway, let's go ahead and go back into here and go to text. There we go. So we want a number up here. I'm not entirely sure what number we're going to go for. What is a good number? What time is it right now? It is 10:30. There we go. So that is going to be our number today. 10:30. Nice. Okay, this is going to be in black. There we go. And it is going to be, I guess, quite big. Actually, like, really big. There we go, 10:30. We're going to go ahead and shove it on the tail end, just like so. And, oh, Navy's written backwards on this side. No. Okay, flip mirror. If I do this. Yeah, okay, that actually works. So if I do this, it is written correctly on both sides. Oh, I wish I did that earlier. Never mind. Okay, on the front, we're also going to have a number. The number is going to be 103. There we go, 103. And we're going to go ahead and attach that onto here like this. There you go. It's just going to go right there like so. Okay, excellent. It's on both sides. Works. It's quite nice. That is fine. Okay, good. Is that everything that I wanted to add to this thing? It might be, you know. It might be. I could also, I guess, add some different things. Like we could do, I don't know, this. Kind of a weird shaped thing, but I don't know whether we'd use this. Actually, now that I think about it. But, you know, maybe we would. Maybe we would. So, angle, let's go ahead and do this. Try and angle it quite nicely, which, I don't know. Like that, yeah, sure. We'll actually just go ahead and attach this guy onto here like this. There you go. A little bit strange, adds a little bit of detail. Why not? Alright, there we go. I've sorted out navy on both sides as well now, so it actually looks a lot better than it did, which is excellent. So from here, I'm not entirely sure what else I want to do. Obviously, we've got this up here right now already. I would have liked to actually, in fact, let's go ahead and try and change this slightly. Let's go to paint. Here we go. Go to this guy right here. Make it scale down a lot, a hell of a lot. And I'm going to actually angle it to like 45 degrees. Ish. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and attach this onto here like so. We're going to go ahead and do that. So there we go. So we've got a bit of a shape up there. Very good. We're then going to go to the FAF logo. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's going to... It's not quite right. It's just not right, and it's really annoying that it's not right. Okay, this is going to go back to 0, if possible. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and shove that onto... Actually, no. No. Scale of this. Down again. Yep. We're going to go ahead and do... Should we just do this instead? I think that's kind of a cool little shape. There we go. Good. And then FAF can go on there. However, it is the wrong color. It is the wrong color for this, which is kind of annoying. I could change the value of that to be black instead, but then it changes the value of everything to be black. That's not what you want. Okay, so I quickly made a new one. Let's go ahead and refresh this. There it is right there. And go to value all the way to the top. There we go. And then we can attach this onto there like so. Let's make it a little bit bigger, of course. There we go. And we can have it directly in the center of there. And there we go. So that side's black, that side's red. It looks kind of interesting. Looks kind of cool. So yeah, let's go with it. Have I actually tested this thing out yet? Have I shown you guys it flying? I don't think I have. So let's get it into the air. Okay, so here we are on the runway. Let's go ahead and throttle this up and get into the sky. Now, it does seem to want to go sideways whenever I try and take off with this thing. I'm not entirely sure why that would be, but it does. So there you go. Anyway, we are in the sky now. Let's go ahead and lift up our landing gear. There we go. Folds inwards. And we are in the air. Now, from below, it actually looks a little bit like a private jet in terms of the wing actually being directly on the bottom. A little bit strange, but the color scheme is actually pretty cool. I do feel like we should have painted the bottom side a little color as well. I haven't actually painted that bit right there either, so that needs changing. But everything else actually looks and seems pretty good, to be honest. I think we've done an okay job with this one. I feel like the amount of detail we've added to it is somewhat okay. And yeah, it actually flies. It is flying subsonic. It is not going as fast as maybe I would want it to. But obviously if we go higher, where the air pressure is less, it might go a little bit quicker. I do need to modify engines a little bit more in the future as well, because at the minute, I'm not very good at modifying them and making them work better. But hopefully I do get better in the future. I suppose we could also attempt to actually add a weapon to this. Should we do that? Let's go ahead and try and add a missile. Alright, here we go. So I've selected a hard point. I've got it in my hands right now, and I'm going to go ahead and shove it on the wing right there, because I couldn't seem to put it in the center, so that's kind of strange. We're then going to go ahead and move it into the center-ish, like so, and I'm going to go ahead and move it forwards as well, because I feel like it was in the wrong position. But there you go. We'll add it onto there like so, and that looks okay to me. Yes. Now let's go ahead and get ourselves an actual missile and attach it onto there. So, oh, that is a big boy. Okay, no. This. All right, here we go. So let's go ahead and just shove this onto the bottom of this. Like so, and presumably that'll actually work. Maybe. That will actually work, maybe. Let's go ahead and drop it all down a bit. And hopefully that'll make it look a little bit nicer, I guess. There we go. Okay, is that gonna work? Is it actually gonna work? I'm not sure. Let's move it forwards a tiny touch. Move it downwards a little bit more. We just need to make sure it's in there, but there you go. Okay. We got 2 missiles. I don't know how you fire missiles just yet, but we have 2. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added them, obviously. Let's go ahead and get ourselves into the air, which again, we do keep going sideways at the start. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but there you go. I've added a drop key, so if I press spacebar, this will actually drop down. I don't think it'll fire, though, because I feel like it needs activating. I just don't know how you do that, so I'm just going to go ahead and press spacebar. Alright, there you go. They both dropped, and obviously they haven't gone off because reasons. Okay, right. How do I turn the missiles on? That's the next question. Okay, so after asking for some help about how to fire missiles, I've been instructed that the button was F. Now, unfortunately, when I started playing this game, I rebound F to a different thing, which was flaps, because I didn't realize 2 actually did flaps. Anyway, I don't know how I'm supposed to launch missiles now, so instead of that, I've actually added some guns underneath the wings, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how they work. So, 3, 2, 1. How cool is that? How cool is that? We got all the guns. How awesome. Anyway, that is pretty much it for this aircraft, to be totally honest with you guys. I do need to fix that, and I do need to paint the bottom. But other than that, I think we've done a pretty good job. I think it looks pretty slick, to be honest. Obviously, the front end doesn't look like an F4, but it wasn't supposed to, so that's okay. Anyway, for now, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.